So when did you start to get involved in it?
I started to get involved in it right after my house got burnt down.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But I was going to parties back then, 69, 70, I was going to parties. A place called The Tunnel, a place called The Puzzle. The Tunnel used to be up here on 161st Street.
Yeah.
You know, right where I'm gonna pass by right now, this was the first disco at the party called The Puzzle.
The what?
The Puzzle.
The Puzzle.
Yeah. This is where me, guys, that Phase 2, you know, Stay High, Sweet Duke, Lionel 163, all the early graffiti writings used to come through here.
Right.
This is where we used to meet up and party at.
Right.
You know, then years later, down the block from it, this club right here called Disco Fever. Disco Fever used to be right here, 167.
Oh, okay.
But before Disco Fever, was right up by the train station up there.
Yeah.
It's a place called The Puzzle.
Oh, okay.
That was the first Bronx disco.
So we're on Cromwell and 167, so just up there near the train
Up the
station.
blocks of River Avenue, because this is Jerome.
Right.
So over there is River Avenue, 167.
Right. So back then you still weren't playing, you were just
I was
partying.
dancing, partying.
Right.
I was partying. I did it into the 70s.
And
right
that was when b-boying was starting, wasn't it?
Yeah, people was dancing, but they wasn't calling it b-boy. They was just a break, just to go off. You know, my terms came in after I started to play.
Right.
And it was called them b-boys. You know, guys used to just break dance, so we just break it down. Right then we started, slang was in, and we shortened words down.
Right.
You know, instead of disrespect, you know, you diss me.
Yeah.
That's where that comes from. Just break certain long words down. You know.
So who were the DJs that you were into that were playing these clubs?
There's a guy that I used to go to. Now I'm in high school.
Uh-huh.
You know, so guys, there's a guy in here who used to play. The guy that used to play here, I don't know them. You never used to see them. They was in a room.
That's in the puzzle. You never saw the DJ.
Never saw them. But the guys at the tunnel, I knew him. This guy named John Brown.
Yeah.
And he used to go to my school, Athlete Smith.
Uh-huh.
There's this blue gate come down, storing that in the club no more.
That was where it was?
Right here.
Okay.
Right there.
41E.
Yeah.
Now it's a shoe clothing.
One of the things we notice is that Herc is about to give some years. And he says this was 70s, and then he's about to give the year 70, and he's not given the chance to say the year because the interviewer interrupts him by saying that this is when b-boying started. He says people were dancing, but they didn't call it that. They just would go off. They would break. He says, my terms came in after I started to play, and I called them b-boys. Guys used to just break dance. He seems to be describing two different events. Number one, what were they doing at the Plaza Tunnel? They were going off. In fact, Sasa says it was them trying to imitate James Brown with splits and stuff. So John Brown was never extending breaks for b-boys. Number two, Herc talks about his term b-boy after he starts to play. When does he call his dancers b-boys? 1975, at the Hevelo. But Sasa says it was at the Executive Playhouse. So there is some confusion among them. Nevertheless, Herc is not saying they were breaking as we know breaking at the Plaza Tunnel. We are now going to listen to a certain channel that used a source from the book Yes, Yes, Y'all, where he describes Kool Herc talking about when he met John Brown, and he says that he met John Brown at the Puzzle. But yet, in this interview that we just listened to, we can clearly hear that Kool Herc says that he met John Brown not at the Puzzle, but in fact at the Plaza Tunnel. In fact, Herc says in this interview that we just listened to that he didn't know the DJ at the Puzzle, but he went to school with the DJ at the Plaza Tunnel named John Brown. So this resource that we are about to hear is absolutely 100% incorrect. They were not b-boying at the Plaza Tunnel. Peace.
As it went along, I started to go to parties and stuff, and checking out the vibes of the scene. And I started to dance. I'd go over to a place called The Puzzle. The DJ there, John Brown, used to go to the same high school I used to go to. I would go there basically for break dancing. I used to run with a graffiti crew called the X-Vandals. It was Phase 2, Super Cool, Lionel 163, Stay High 149, El Marco, and Sweet Duke, a lot of graffiti artists. We used to meet up there. It was like a meeting ground. We'd all talk about where we tagged, where we bombed, and all that, and we used to dance. A lot of those graffiti artists also was break dancers.